Brought to you by Penguin.
Down to the Wire, written by Andy McNab and read by Paul Thornley. Part 1. Chapter 1. Villefranche-sur-Mer, Saturday the 10th of July 2021. A big twist of the throttle took the electric outboard to max, but it didn't seem to make much difference to our relative speeds. The Alamat looked just as far away, and Gabe was going ballistic. "He said it would be steering put all night. Your fucking boss man got it fucking wrong." The inflatable bounced up and down in bigger swell as we reached halfway into the bay, and Gabe had to grip his seat with both hands. Jack was still at the bow, using his lard to keep it down. I glanced across to Rio, perched on the other side of the outboard. "Keep hold of that bag." The yacht wasn't exactly going flat out, but its position was changing in relation to the bay's ribbon of lights left and right. Our own motion was just about fast enough to blow everyone's hair back, apart, of course, from Gabe's. The moody jock hadn't had that much to start with, but in the last few months what was left of it had all fallen out. 4 bodies on board and only 4 horsepower to move them would have been fine for closing in on a static target, but not one that was on the move. But we were where we were, and that was it. If we caught up with the yacht, then all well and good. If not, we'd just have to revert to Plan B, as soon as I'd thought of one. At least the Alamat wasn't completely out to sea yet. There were still lights running both sides of the bay ahead of it. In this harbour, vessels were under a speed restriction until they reached open water. "We're gaining." Either Jack had a better perspective from ahead there on the bow, or he was bluffing himself. Straining my eyes into the gloom, I triangulated Alamat's stern lights with points on the shore. Jack was right. We were gaining on it, not fast, but fast enough. And the closer we got, the easier it was to use its lights as a marker to check our relative speeds. There were many newer models than the sleek white 3-master out there in the bay, available as charters for the super-rich to swan about in, but this was the only one named after a 19th century Ottoman Empire battleship. It had left Marmaris in Turkey and made its way to the French Riviera via Tunis, but the journey was about a whole lot more than having fun. Serious work had been done en route and during the 2 stopovers, first in Tunis and then here. The problem was that the work being carried out on board was a danger to the west, and the Owl had ordered that it had to be stopped. Soon salty water splattered our faces as we bounced on the remains of Alamat's wake. Just a minute or two later, I could make out the faint rumble of engines, more like the gentle throbbing hum of an electricity generator. Jack was up on his knees, gripping the loose end of the thin white nylon bow rope in both hands. 2 more minutes, and we were no more than 4 or 5 meters from the rear platform, which was just above sea level. At anchor, a ladder would go down from it into the water for swimmers, and a jet ski was lashed on either side for those who wanted to be noisier. The inflatable bucked, and I had to hold on. Rio knelt behind Gabe and used his body to steady him as the spray drenched us. What he said to him carried to me on the wind. "Last chance, mate. It's not too late." Gabe shook his head. "Don't worry. I know what I'm doing and why." He wasn't going to change his mind. We all knew that. Back on the quay just before we jumped aboard the inflatable, his eyes had locked onto ours, one by one. He didn't say anything at first. We waited for him. It was his moment. "Thanks, lads," he finally muttered. "It's been a fucker these last 7 months, and especially this last one. But it's yous cunts have made it bearable." Finally, Gabe had taken a deep breath and had one more good look into our eyes. "Right then, shitheads. Enough, before it turns into a fucking prayer meeting. Let's go save the fucking world, yeah?" Chapter 2. The yacht's engine was so loud now it drowned out any other sound. A moment later the inflatable jolted as the bow connected with a swimming platform. We rebounded.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?